through the streets of social media. Sorry, don't mind me. We are social media lawyers. Sometimes many of us we see this wig. Maybe we see it only in court. Some of us we see it in court. Some of us who are also social media lawyers, we come out with our wig sometimes if we are trying to talk about the law. So my name is Attorney Cynthia Azor. I'm a dual licensed attorney. I'm licensed in the United States and also in Nigeria. And I have with me here down below Barrister Christiana. Let her introduce herself.
Thank you very much, everyone. My name is Ruben Christiana Ibe. I'm an engine lawyer. Thank you for joining our live.
Yes, thank you all for joining our live session. So, like I said, this is a movement, this is a company. I have been a legal AI trainer since my master's program in US, and I happen to have worked with the tech company, and I was able to go in and see how they train the AI and all that. And it got to me that a time is coming when law has to just go digital because everything is going digital. That's why I created a team we call the CY Azure Law Tech Solutions. So we are a team of persons who are coming together to distribute the same law into simplified terms, coming from a lawyer this time, not from the AI machines anymore. We are going to try and see how we can simplify the law and use our products and services to ensure that the right message is going out there, that the right laws are going out there. We're going to try our best. We have a team, we have partners in Nigeria that will partner with from Enugu, from Lagos, from Abuja. Where our partner lawyer is going to be handling anything Nigerian law. So if you have any Nigerian issue from landlord to tenant to registration of estate property to anything, sale of land, any wahala where you get, if you carry am come this side, we go help you. So if you just carry am come, we go analyze am, then we go know as we want to help you. We will know how we will help you. So that's it basically, the introduction. So this is a brand under our big umbrella that we have with our tech developers. And so this brand is all about cross-border law. It's all about sharing the law and breaking it down to persons who are in our space. So in my space, I have Nigerians because I have my friends from Nigeria. And then in my space, hello, thanks for joining. Okay. And then in my space, I also have persons who are based in the United States. Okay. And so that's why it is cross border. So they may want some of my persons who are based in the United States may want to know what is the law gonna be if this situation had happened in the United States, because they may have similar issues. Not everybody wants to come out online to share their story, but they can learn from how we break down the law here. You understand? They can learn because sometimes they may have similar issues. And today we are going to start with the issue that we discovered that just came up on social media about the gist, where Caroline Danjuma, our popular actress, came out to accuse a lady online about actually having affairs with the husband, sleeping with the husband. Meanwhile, she was helping him, her, sorry. So she was helping her, and all that. So she was supporting her in her business, but yet she was doing things with the husband. So we are now asking, when I went further into that gist, I see like it's an allegation, but when I went further, it seems like she did not mention the name of the person, right? She didn't mention the name of the person she was referring to, but she laid allegations against someone. So that's where we're going to start from. Then we'll go down to the other gist that we have for today. So that story actually brings up so many aspects and dimensions of the law, so many legal issues. So we're going to start with the legal issue of defamation. Defamation. Right. Sorry, I'm not inviting anybody in now because we are doing serious business. We want to make sure we get the law out. But if you have any question, you can ask. And or if you want to join, you can always send me an invite. Then whenever we are ready to bring people in, we will bring you in. Monami, please look at the screen and determine those persons that want to come up. So I will bring them up. So the first issue today is going to be the issue of defamation. What is defamation? What is defamation? What is slander? And what is libel? And how do you actually prove defamation? Because we have a lot going on online now. We have persons accusing other people online. A statement made online, can it be said to be defamatory? And to what extent do you have to prove defamation for it to actually be defamation? What are the elements that must be present for you to actually prove that this is defamation? Because when it comes to the law, there are so many elements that fall into place before you can get to that threshold of, let's say, defamation, and then slander, and then libel. We're going to discuss those things and discuss how it relates to the gist that we saw online. So, Barrister Ruben, please, can you give us the Nigerian position on defamation, slander, libel?
All right, ma. So defamation has to do with it's either publishing or saying something that is making a false statement about another person. And in Nigeria, there are several elements you must prove in order for your defamatory suit to be successful. Other than that, we have two types of defamation. We have the libel and the slander. So one is in the writing form, which is in a permanent form, while the other is a word that is in a spoken form. Okay, so libel is the publication of false statement in permanent form, which exposes another person to hatred, ridicule, contempt, or cause him or her to be avoided or ridiculed in the society. So, for slander, the other one, it has to do with making statements that are not true about a person. So when you go on social media, on your live, and then you start saying false things against someone, you say things that they are necessarily not guilty of, because you know how this thing works. At times when you make, most of them say allegedly, but that allegedly is not always a saving grace. But people use it to, save them from the rod of the law. So, but by the time, sorry about that, the call came in. So, by the time you go on your live section and then you say defamatory things against someone, you make false allegations, false statements against someone, that is slander. So the difference is, one is in a permanent written form, either a publication in a newspaper or a write-up that you make online. And then the other one is slander. So when you make oral statement, it's not necessarily permanent. You know the difference, because for libel, you write it, you publish it. Okay, it's either in a newspaper or in a post on Facebook or in a magazine. But for the other one, which is slander, is word spoken by the mouth, orally. So these are the two types of defamation that we have. And then in Nigeria, there are several elements that you must prove in order for your defamatory case to be successful. So one of them is that either libel or slander, it goes for both, that the defendant published the statement to at least one other person. Now let me break this down. I made a false statement. Okay, let's assume I have issues with someone, and then I meet the person and then I start making false statements to the person. Let me give you let me use a scenario now. So let's say I know someone with the name Messi, and then I went to meet Messi and I started telling Messi, "Oh Messi, I heard that you have leprosy. I heard that you have so illness, and I also somebody told me that you are mad. You have a record label, like you have medical record of insanity." Because I'm telling Messi directly now. There's no other person there. So according to Nigerian law, that will not that will not suffice as that will not suffice as a defamatory statement, because I'm telling Messi directly and there's no other person there. Do you understand? But by the time I go on my live section, or I go on Facebook, or I make a video on Facebook, or I at a meeting or at a gathering, I decide to tell people that Messi is insane. Messi has some type of disease. You understand? That
Publication,
will
like,
count as a defamatory statement, because I'm not just saying it to only her. I'm saying it to other people as well. So that will count as defamation. Then another essential element is that the statement is referred to the client. That means you, the person bringing the matter to court, must be the person the false statement was made against. So it's not possible for me to make a false statement against you, and then it's your mommy or your daddy that is coming to institute the action in court.
Yes, say. Yes, say statements are not admissible in court. Them say. It must be directed to you. So if you come and say, I heard he said that I am. No.
Or he said my daughter is this, she said my daughter is this, and I want to sue. Unless the person is a minor. Of course, there are exceptions to this. Okay? Except the person is a minor. The person defamed is a minor. So that's how they call it in law. You see, representative representative action, something like that. So now, another element is that the statement was defamatory in its natural and ordinary meaning. So, there's a difference between insult and a false statement. So it's very necessary to know the distinction between these two things. For instance, if I have issues with someone and then people are gathered and they're trying to resolve the matter, and then all of a sudden I blow out and say, this girl, she's a goat. I've always known that she's a goat. Look at her, she looks like a goat. She's not even beautiful, she's a goat. That's an insult. That is not a defamatory statement. But by the time I start telling people Ghana that, you see this girl is mad now. I know her people record. A lot of people have told me about this girl. This girl is a very crazy person. And I know the doctor that examined her one certain time. This girl is really mad, I know. You understand? That will serve as a defamatory statement. But that insult, the first one, that says she's a goat, she looks like a goat. Can't you see? It does not count.
Okay.
So you must learn to differentiate between the meaning of the word. Okay? And another element is that the publication caused or was likely to cause injury to the claimant's reputation. I'll still use the last example I made. So if I say so person is a goat, she looks like a goat, there's no harm to the reputation, right? There's no harm. It's just regular insult. But by the time I say this person is mad, though, I have seen her medical record and I know her doctor. I know her psychiatric doctor. She's a mad person. No, don't give her that job. That has caused what to the person? It has caused damage to the reputation of the person. So these are the basic elements.
Okay.
Let me give you Yeah, let me give a run through again. Number one, that the defendant published the statement to at least one other person. Number two, that the statement referred to the client. Number three, that the statement was defamatory in its natural and ordinary meaning. And lastly, that the publication caused severe harm or damage to the reputation of the claimant. So these are the elements that you must prove in order to have a successful defamatory suit. And let's look at the defense too. Quickly, or should I just hold on so that
Yeah.
you tell us about the
Okay,
US
so
part?
yes. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Thank you so much. So if you're watching from the United States, I'm called to the US bar. And so it varies from state to state actually. So any discussion I'm having here, if it's not a federal law as such, which we are licensed to practice. So let me just say something real quick, because there's always this confusion out there. When I got called to bar, I got called to bar to the state law and also into the federal court. So every state in the United States has a federal court and state court, right? Now I can practice law in every of the federal courts, and then when it comes to the state laws, I can practice state specific in the state I was called. Okay, so now let's get into it. That's why I always try to say it is based on state to state. So you need to know your state's defamatory laws, right? So generally, when it comes to the laws, generally there's usually an underlying similarity between everything, but there's usually some differences based on state by state. Now, generally, the US perspective, defamation is generally seen as a civil wrong. Just like what she said, it must have cost, it must have been published, right? And it must have harmed another person's reputation, right? It must have caused damage to another person's reputation before the person can bring a lawsuit. And it must have been communicated to someone else, and it must have caused that reputational harm, right? So just like what our Carolina came online to say, the actress, right? She came to say that someone has been sleeping with her husband. Now she allegedly, right? Now that has caused a harm to the other person she was referring to, right? Which we've been searching, who is this person, who is this person, some of us, when we see this gist, we just want to poke nose a little bit so that we'll be sure who they are referring to. But I couldn't see the person, but it has caused harm to that person, right? So that person can bring defamatory. So it doesn't really matter whether it's online. If it's online and it causes harm, and it means that other third parties has heard about it, it is defamatory, and you can bring an action in court. So even if someone comes online and you know that that statement is false, right? So there is one burden of proof that must be established, right? It must be shown that that statement is false, right? So even if it causes reputational harm, doesn't mean that the court will uphold it as being defamatory. Okay, it must be proven that it is false, and there are different level of proof depending on the personality that is being alleged against. Okay, so um that's the United States. So in the United States, we also have the libel and the slander. Like the slander is the oral, and and then the libel is the written. And then so at the end of the day, truth can generally be a complete defense of defamation. For instance, if somebody comes, do you have a question? Please, can you mute your mic, please? Please, can we tap on the screen, Monami? So it can be a defense, right? So even if you believe that something is true, it is not the same as being able to prove it, right? That's why it's important to be careful before making serious allegations online. So when it comes to private individuals, a private person is generally at a lower burden of proof. They typically must prove that the elements of defamation by a preponderance of evidence. Okay, the standard varies from state to state. Okay, now when it comes to public figure, like celebrities, politicians, public officers, like for instance, if the person that Carolina was talking about, our actress Carolina was saying, was sleeping with her husband, if that person is a public figure, then the burden is much higher. Okay, the plaintiff must generally prove actual malice. Okay, that's if the other party brings that action, she must prove that there's actual malice, not just that does not actually mean hatred or ill. Okay, it means that actual malice means that the defendant knew that the statement was false, and then they acted with reckless disregard for whether it was true or false. It means that if you are trying to say something online, or if you're trying to make an allegation about anybody, and you're and that person is a public figure, you must first of all be sure that that allegation is true. And because if you're not sure and you just make it, for instance, what Carolina said about the actress Carolina said about the other lady sleeping with her husband. Okay, if for instance she just said it and she doesn't have tangible evidence, like we all know that it's very difficult to prove the actual, like we said last week is like we said last week, it's difficult to prove the actual um because you are not there when they were so the allegation is is that they actually had sex, and that's the allegation, and it will be difficult to prove. So wait, are you just saying it to out of malice, to incite the public against the person, or are you saying it because you actually know? You understand, you don't have to make statements, reckless statements about people that you've not proven. So it's possible that the lady may have had I'm not trying to take sides here, but it's possible that the lady may have had some acquaintances with the husband, like just like my husband. My husband has female acquaintances, he has friends at work, and all of that. That doesn't mean he's sleeping with them. Okay, so if I come out tomorrow and I say, oh, so and so person has been sleeping with my husband, and I'm just saying it out of malice, I don't even know whether it's true. That is defamatory, and that person can bring an action against me in court, right? And it will be very difficult for me to prove that it is actually true. So some certain allegations are more difficult to prove, like the one of the sleeping with and all that. So, because celebrities voluntarily place themselves in the public eye, the law generally gives more protection to public discussions about them. So, if a celebrity sues for defamation in the United States, it's usually not enough to show that that statement was false. They generally have to prove that the speaker knew it was false or recklessly ignored whether it was true. So that's it, Barrister Ruben. I just tried to summarize what I know. Do you have a question? Excuse me, let me disconnect him. Do you have a question? Okay. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining. If you have a question, put in the comment section. Monami, please let me check Facebook whether let me go to Facebook. Let me see whether I'm hearing Ellen right live there. Let me see. So let us keep tapping. Thank you very much. Do you have any question? Do you want to join? If you want to join, send a friend an invite. Like I said, if you have any question, right? Because I know that this same thing, excuse me, because I know that this same thing happens to so many persons out there. That's why we come to discuss it as celebrity gist. So if it's happening to you, or if it has happened to somebody you don't have to come and say, it happened to me. You can just say, I know this man. His name is so James. At some point, see what happens, see what they said about him, see how it happened. So what can he do? Like, we don't need to tell us that it's your case, and then you'll still be able to get some answers and then you go apply it to yourself. Yes. So do we have any more questions? So we go to our next issue. Or Barrister Ruben, do you have more points to throw, and let us gist a little bit about marriage defamation and all those other things?
Okay, so I'll just talk quickly on the defense of defamation in Nigeria. So, like you said, it's quite similar to the US law, and the various defense to defamation in Nigeria is number one, justification. So justification means that the statement you made is true. For instance, if I say someone is mad, don't give her that job, and actually I can prove that there's a medical record that this person is actually mad, yes, then it is true. The element for defamation is not satisfied. So that means I have a valid defense to the statement I made. And also, if it's a fair comment and honest opinion, if it's just an opinion, like, okay, for example, if it's in the interest of the public, when you make a statement that, oh, please don't let Tinubu come back for the second tenure, because we've had activities as well as economic recession. That is an honest opinion in the interest of the public. So it is a fair comment. It should not count as a defamatory statement. And also we have qualified privilege. So certain communications that are made on occasion of legal, moral, or social duty attract protection. Unless it is made out of malice. For instance, if you are in the court of law and then from the facts that the council has, maybe an incident occurred and then the council is of the opinion that the other party is a thief. You understand? That the person is a thief and they've seen him in several places and he has once been arrested before for theft. The lawyer has the qualified privilege because he is making it on duty. You understand? And also, we have absolute privilege. This one is specifically for people that are in the parliament and also to lawyers too during judicial proceeding. So there are relevant laws that govern this. It should not be used inappropriately, and then immunity should not be abused. So that is it.
Okay, thank you so much, Barrister Ruben, for throwing some more light on the Nigerian position. So, from what we've said so far, there is some similarities between US and Nigeria. So, what questions do we have for our audience? What questions do we have for our audience on the similarities, or generally on the definition? So do you think that what someone says online, like, because from what people say, online is a free zone, it's a zone for everybody to say whatever they like. So do you think that what someone says online should actually be used as evidence, proof something like defamation, right, in court? Do you think so? Or should we just allow people to be able to express themselves online? After all, we're all on social media. So why should what someone says online actually be used? Because may just be saying it on the passing. So do you think that should actually be used against anybody?
Well, the law draws the line between freedom of speech and then defamation. So there are some statements you make that are not defamatory, and then you can express your opinion. The Chapter 4 of the Constitution recognizes freedom of speech is a fundamental right of every human in Nigeria. However, there are exceptions to this, and then there are some statements you make that the law will not protect you. There are statements you make on social media that the law will not protect you. That is, if the statement is a false allegation, it is regarded as a defamatory speech. If it's false allegation, if it's fabricated allegations, and then if it's a malicious publication, you are intentionally making it to harm the reputation or destroy the reputation of someone. That is not freedom of speech. That is abusing the freedom of speech. And then when you knowingly spread a false rumor, for instance, when I go to my page and post, there's bandits in Caro. I saw them. I saw them. They are still at the front of my house. You understand? And then there's nothing like that. Other people passing by the same area can see that there's nothing like that. So that is spreading false rumor and
Mm-hmm.
then the court will not take it lightly. Yes, they will
Mm-hmm.
not take it lightly with you. And also, when you make reckless statements regarding someone without
Mm-hmm.
verifying the facts.
Mm.
So this is it. In as much as the law recognizes our freedom of speech, there are certain exceptions to it, and there are limitations to this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, thank you very, very much. So are there any laws governing social media? Because we're about to get into another heated discussion now. Are there any laws governing social media when it comes to what you can post, what you cannot post, how you can post it? Because we have cyber crimes in the US and all those other ones. So I'm solving some puzzles here. Please, can we tap on the live, please?
Yes, in Nigeria, we have the laws that regulate cyber bullying, like making statements on the internet. So there are several laws like that, and also the law of defamation. In a way, regulates this, because there are some statements you make. There are some statements you make, and then it is regarded as defamatory. Then the law of tort comes in.
Okay.
And also I think the section 45, right, of the Constitution talks about the limitation. So if it limits the way people talk online, it limits their freedom. So that's it. And I think there's a there's a cyber law. Yes, there is. There's a cyber crime prohibition act. So it regulates criminal conduct that are, although that one is I think it's specifically for people that use internet fraud. Yes, that one
Okay.
is specifically for internet fraud. So for now, I don't think there is a specific legislation that prohibits that regulates the usage of social media. So I think it's from these laws, the Constitution, and then for yes, the Constitution, and then some parts of the Evidence Act that regulate this act. So regarding defamatory statements, for now, I don't think there's a specific regulation that is made for it.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the cyber crime is strictly for so that's what it regulates majorly.
Yes, exactly. So just like what she said, right? It's also the same perspective in the US. Social media is not a law-free zone. Posts made on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, WhatsApp, blogs, and other online platforms can all become evidences in courts. Freedom of speech is a constitutional right, but it is not absolute, okay? It does not generally protect defamatory statements, true threats, fraud, or certain other categories of unlawful speeches. So, yes, whatever you post online can have real legal consequences. And talking about, uh, there's one thing I always say. Like, that's why I love. I'm a very, how will I put it? What we are doing now is just like I enjoy doing it. I'm very analytical, and I'm someone who loves to read. I love to research, and knowing that my partner lawyer is also like that, and then in our company we are like that. We love to read. We love to research. It's actually very interesting because it's interesting to see how similar our laws can be. But I'm not really surprised because um we all got our laws from the common law, right? So it's just that we're going to have some changes in the US, so many changes in the US that might, and then we also have some changes in Nigeria. So I think those changes are actually made as the society evolves, right? So the law is supposed to evolve with the society. So where the law cannot be enforced, where the law is such that it does not align with societal expectation. So where the law does not align with societal expectations and all of that, to be more difficult to enforce the laws. One of the purpose of
Shut your bitch ass up. Like, actually.
Okay,
Like,
can
no
I
one
help
cares.
you? Can I help you? And please be careful the kind of statements you use on my live session. Okay, be very
I
careful
don't give a
because
fuck.
please, you have a question. If you have a question, you can ask your question. We are going to
Celebrity
respond to you.
gifts and the law.
And the
Like,
law,
okay,
yes.
okay.
So do you have a question? Do you have any celebrity gist for us? Okay, thank God you took yourself out of the life. You can see that this is not a life, this is not a place where you know, where we accommodate all those kind of discussions here. This is serious business. Thank you very much for removing yourself from the life. Thank you. If you want to come up again, please make sure you're coming up with a question. Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate your cooperation and understanding. As we are all saying now, you can see we are talking about defamation and we're talking about online and all of those other things. This is all part of what we are talking about on social media. The fact that we are out here doesn't mean that anything can just be said at any time to anybody. Okay, so thank you very much for separating yourself. So let's go down to what we are discussing.
Can you
So do you
put
have a
the
question?
celebrities gifts in your booty?
Yeah,
Can
do you
put it
have a
in your butt?
question? Do you have a question?
Yeah, yeah.
Guys, let's accommodate her. Clap for her. Clap for yourself. Please clap for yourself. Clap for yourself. Yo, 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 yo. We got you. We got you. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. You are doing so well. I want to thank you for coming up on the social media to just say all sorts of things. Thank you very much. Please clap for yourself. Please, everyone, let's give her a round of applause. My team members, can you please clap for her? I'm going to clap for you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Woo! Let's give her some time. Yeah, thank you, please. Say some more things because the more you talk, the more people will come and join. Thank you. Yeah. Do you have a question? Okay, yeah, thank you very much. So, do you have a question? Yeah, thank you. Do you have a question? Do you have a question for us?
Yes.
Okay, so
Just up your butt.
okay. So you want me to gist the what off my what? Off my what?
Can you put the gist up your ass?
Off? No, hold on. Relax first. So what do you want?
Hey, bro, try this.
Do you have a question? I love that. This is interesting. I need some more persons that can. And again, once this live session is on, I'm going to see how I can block people from just joining automatically without being invited for the live session. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thanks for joining. We need more of that. See, sometimes it can be boring if those kind of people don't come here. So our live session is a free zone, like you see. I'm a very, very free person. Yeah. So I'm a very free person. I listen and I was waiting for her to come down with her question, but she couldn't. So let's continue. We don't need to give some credence to some persons. Our next question is gonna be, it's possible she might have defamed someone and she doesn't feel comfortable with what we are discussing here. If you don't feel comfortable with what we are discussing here, you want to come close down the discussion. But let me tell you, you can't stop the discussion. So if you are defaming people online, all in the name of content creation, you understand, know today that it can be brought up against you in courts. And you must be able to prove the truth of that statement that you're making online. Thank you all very much. So talking about the United States, like I said, it's quite interesting how our laws can be similar, right? So just like we have in Nigeria, in the US, we also have cyber security law, cyber crime prohibition prevention act. We also have um, um, we also have computer fraud and abuse act. That's basically what we call it. Computer fraud and abuse act that deals with hacking, unauthorized computer access, and computer fraud. So we have a case we are dealing with, which I'm dealing with, which I got that case from Facebook, whereby the person said that person was defrauded through WhatsApp. I think in that case it was like a theft of the person's intellectual property. It's kind of like all these people that tell you to come into their business and do kind of blockchain with them, blockchain and all those crypto stuff. So the person made him to work and did not pay. and all those other things. So those are the kind of things we are also looking at. Unauthorized computer access, computer fraud. Then we have Stored Communication Acts, such as emails, electronic communication, privacy of stored communications. Then we have the Electronic Communications Privacy Act. So things like wiretapping, electronic communications, interception of communications. Then we also have the First Amendment, which it protects the freedom of speech. And it says that what freedom of speech, although it is guaranteed in the Constitution, it is not absolute. It generally does not protect defamation, fraud, true threats, or certain categories of unlawful speech. So, like I said last week, the right of somebody as guaranteed in the Constitution ends at the point where the other person's rights start. So the fact that you have freedom of speech doesn't mean that you should go around defaming other persons. So we have state defamation laws too. So we have the First Amendment, protection of speech, which is more federal, and then we have state defamation laws. So hello, how you doing? Welcome in. Thank you very much for joining. Okay, welcome in. Does anybody want to join again? I can see some requests. I'm going to need my team to be bringing them in. If you have a question, please unmute and ask. I have who is this? Actually, this is not the same person that was. Someone has requested to join. Let me accept this request. So if you want to join, feel free to ask your questions. Okay, feel free to ask your questions. That's why we are here, right? As lawyers, as attorneys, I'm dual licensed. I'm licensed in US and also in Nigeria. I have my partner lawyer from our company who is licensed in Nigeria. Okay. So what we do basically here is we just come here to communicate with you, to relate with the community, so that you will know that we lawyers, we are also able to solve online problems and be able to teach the law online and break the law down in ways that people can understand. Because sometimes it may seem like lawyers are difficult to access, but now we are coming live and we are giving free advice. So feel free to come and ask your questions now. And if you have any question on legal issues, that you feel like you want us to address for you, and we will be willing to do that. Okay, let's go to the next gist that we have. Do we have any questions in the comment section? Monami, I have from someone. So let's just gist for a little while. My screen is hooking. Oh. Please, can you mute your mic? I can't do anything on my screen anymore. Okay, yeah, let me mute him. So we are bringing people in now to ask questions so we can gist. I'm going to be muting everybody in the box. If you have a question, feel free to ask. Thank you all for joining. Please, at this point, one way you can actually help yourself on TikTok, because I also teach TikTok growth and all those things, is when you come for a live session, make sure you're tapping, make sure that you're connecting with those persons in the box, make sure that you're connecting with those persons in the aisle. Just try and connect in the comment section. Just try and make sure that you are performing some certain activities while on the TikTok live, so that TikTok will not feel that you're an AI or you are a bot. Okay, so that is one way you can help your TikTok. If you're doing it, you're helping yourself, not necessarily my page, because my page, the likes will go up at the end of the day, and all, but you also have to also help your own account to gain visibility on TikTok. That's one way you can do it. So yes, let's go down to our next topic. Please, Barrister Rube, what is our next topic?
Okay, we are going to talk about electronic evidence. That is, can screenshots and WhatsApp chats be used as evidence in Nigeria courts? So this is the next thing we are going to be talking about. Can your WhatsApp chat
just like what? Yes, just like what we saw with Danjuma, the screenshots, the screenshot that we saw of the allegations, can it be used in court? Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay, so the position of the law in Nigeria currently, with the advent of technology and the various innovation, the law is also adapted to these modern digital tools.
Mm-hmm.
So many criminal and civil disputes that arise from electronic communications, such as WhatsApp messages. A lot of people would want to use their WhatsApp message or a screenshot as an evidence, especially people that purchase goods online, through WhatsApp, and then when there is a dispute, they keep evidence of the messages they have with the vendor or messages they already screenshotted. So now, regarding this, WhatsApp messages and screenshots can be used as evidence in court, but not in all cases. So there are exceptions to this and there are limitations to this. So the legal basics for admissibility of electronic evidence, we call this electronic evidence because it has to do with online, the internet. So the legal basis for this is the Section 84 of the Evidence Act.
Mm-hmm.
So that provides that a statement that is contained in a document that is produced by a computer shall be admissible in evidence if the condition prescribed under Section 84 are fulfilled. And now, what are these conditions? Number one, that the electronic record was produced by a computer. When we say computer, it's just you can use it's a synonym for phones, laptops, all these electronic devices. So if your electronic device records this,
you're gay too. I gotta
on the regular.
That gay ass bullshit.
Okay, continue, please.
Okay. So if the electronic record,
Mm-hmm.
if the record was produced by a computer regularly, used to store informations like that. For instance, we use our phones and then our WhatsApp applications to communicate with people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this evidence that you want to produce in the court, if the information is actually gotten from the regular work, or should I say duty, or we make use of, okay, let me put it this way. We make use of our WhatsApp primarily for messages, right?
Mm-hmm.
And calls.
Mm-hmm.
So what the court is saying is that in order for you to be able to use this as an evidence in court, that your WhatsApp must be used to store information regularly. It must be used for that purpose regularly.
Mm-hmm.
And also another condition is that the information you are supplying, the information you're bringing as an evidence was brought to the phone in the ordinary course of business. Mm-hmm. That is not a planned something. Mm-hmm. You didn't plan it. It's not premeditated. Mm-hmm. So it's not as if you had plans for it. Okay, let me set this person up. Let me set his WhatsApp to this. Let me set his WhatsApp to that. Or let me set my WhatsApp to this so that I can get such information and then use it in court when this issue arises. Mm-hmm. So the law is saying that information you want to bring to the court as an evidence must be supplied in the ordinary course of business. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So let me give you an instance. I want to break it down so that people understand. Now, you have this feeling that your husband is having an extramarital affair, and then if you decide to set his phone or clone his phone to your WhatsApp, so that the informations will be going to your WhatsApp, and then you have evidence to prove in court when you finally want to divorce him. Mm-hmm. So that you can use that clone messages against him. Okay, that is a premeditated action. The informations were not supplied to your phone in the ordinary course of business.
No, but wait, hold on. Let me ask a question. When it comes to that, Because, for instance, every action that is going to be taken in court is already premeditated. Like every suit or lawsuit is a premeditated active action. You know, they've already thought about it before. So, if, for instance, I want to look for something that I can use in my divorce case. I've not instituted that action yet, right? I'm already premeditating. So if I now say, okay, none, I want to get these evidences, so I'm going to tap my husband's phone, or try to look for a way to get the information. So why can't we use that? Like, you know?
When you want to present that as an electronic evidence, and then you make it obvious to the court that this is what you did, that okay, because my husband is cheating a lot, and I discovered that he's having extramarital affair, I decided to clone his phone, and then I did one connection, connected his phone with mine, and all the WhatsApp messages between his babe and him, I have access to it.
Mhm.
The court will question it because it's premeditated. The fact that you already have intentions to sue your husband for
Mhm.
divorce, and then you're not making it so obvious to the court that you actually did this. In fact, the law can also come up with another defense that, okay, you did this, and maybe they can claim that you were the one that actually sent the message. Do you understand?
Mhm.
That you was doing because you
Yes.
already premeditated it.
Yes, you might have
Yes,
connived
so
with
even if
somebody
you want-
to send it.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. So if you want to use something like that as an evidence in court, the best way to go about it is it's better not to mention that this is what you did, but you can also come up with the idea of telling the court that, okay, you got married to your husband, you all agreed to have
Yeah,
access to each other's phone, and then you
yes.
clone. Yes. So
That
that is, and that you got to see the message when he started shitting. That means you didn't plan it. It's not your doing. It was sent to the in the ordinary course of business.
Mhm.
So you get now.
Yes. So the reason why I
So
was
that is
asking is because we have a client, we have someone who had that kind of situation and asked that kind of question. So I wanted us to clarify. So it's possible they might be watching. So I'm sure they must have gotten some clarification. And we have some questions like that do come up, right? So sometimes they will say, so what I found, what do I say? Do I tell the court that, the way I got to find out about it and all of those other things? So those are all, there's a way you can actually present the evidence in court and be detrimental to your case. So Barrister Ruben just explained that to
to
us.
you, yes. Especially in Nigeria, that most of these cases are strictly, the divorce cases are strictly at the discretion of the court.
Mhm.
So at times when you make a statement that implicates you,
Mhm.
it may not go well for you. So it's better to be very careful and then be wise about how you present your points.
Mhm.
Yes.
Do
And
we
then
have, wait, hold on,
lastly,
we have a
the
question. Hold
information.
on. Hold on. Yes. You want to say something? Is that Gorilla?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to say you are very beautiful. Have a good one. Happy July 4th.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay. All right. That's a good. All right. So let's continue.
As a compliment.
Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate. Okay. All right. So let's continue. I know our audience are actually learning. Before we continue, please let us talk about who we are, what we are, and what we're doing here. You understand? So if you're just joining us, this is a company created and formed by a body of persons who are passionate about breaking down the law and bringing the law in front of more persons so that they can understand the law. So the company was spearheaded by my humble self, attorney Cynthia Azor. I'm a dual licensed attorney. I first got called to bar in Nigeria. I've missed this week so much, so this is Nigeria week. We don't wear this week in the US, and then I got called to buy in the US, or I'm also called to buy in the US or in the United States also. So the reason why I spearhead this was because I've been a legal AI trainer right from my master's 2022 2023, and I can see how the tech companies are beginning to work towards ensuring that they break down knowledge and make it more accessible to people. So before we had the AI, we still had this knowledge out there through Google and all, but the AI kind of helps to break down the law into more simplified terms, depending on how you are able to craft your prompts. Okay, and all that. And sometimes, most of the time, the AI can provide results that might be accurate, okay, but sometimes it can hallucinate, sometimes it can make mistakes, all those other things. So that's the reason why we are coming out to see how we can actually break down those laws and bring the right law in front of the people through services, our services, including apart from our law firm, which we have my partner lawyer from Nigeria. We're trying to see how we can help those persons who need legal help in Nigeria, because I usually get these questions online. Oh, please help me, landlord tenant issue. Oh, please, once they see Azure, please help me, I have a landlord tenant issue. Oh, please help me, I have an intellectual property issue. I have been helping out with those because I'm called to Nigerian bar, definitely. So I can practice law in Nigeria. But at some point, it became so much, and I said, no, I need to get my partner lawyer from Nigeria. So whenever I have those kind of issues, I can just ask her to be of help, especially when it has to do with conducting searches within the Nigerian registry, actually physically attending courts in Nigeria. So we have lots you can learn from this platform, both digitally as well as through what we are doing. And with time, we are going to let you know. With time, as we get some more services and we get our products, we're working with our developers and all, we'll be able to let you know as each product come up. So that is as we create products and all of that. We're gonna continue this way. We started off our life not a couple of weeks ago, and we intend to continue doing this every Saturday first, at least initially. Then with time, we will determine how frequent we can be coming out. So we work behind the scenes, like throughout the week. We work behind the scenes. We have meetings, we have discussions, we bombard on ideas. I love my Nigerian partner. She's actually challenging me intellectually. I love to research, I love to read, and I also love to break down these laws. And she's also like that. So keep following us. We're going to keep dishing out legal knowledge through creation of content and also through coming here to address you all. So thank you all for joining. Please keep joining us, keep tapping on the live, keep commenting, keep asking questions. We are here to help you. Okay, Monami, yes. He says having a bad network. Oh, it's okay, it's okay. No problem. So please, Ruben, Barrister Ruben, please, can you continue?
Okay, so I was talking about the conditions for admissibility.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was talking about the condition for admitting an electronic evidence. So yes, I already mentioned that the electronic device must be the electronic record that was produced by the computer must be regularly used for storing or processing information of that kind. And I made reference to the use of our WhatsApp. We use it for information regularly.
Mm-hmm.
So another one is that the information was supplied in the ordinary course of business. I also gave an instance. And lastly, that the computer was operating properly. Okay. Sorry. That the information was supplied in ordinary course of
not premeditated.
And now, yes, it must not be premeditated. And we also have another one, that the computer was operating properly during the relevant period. That is, your phone must be very active during those periods. That's the way. That's one of the ways the courts find out if this is actually a premeditated action.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you had a bad phone on the 28th of February 2028, and then you're claiming that the information that you have regarding your husband having an extramarital affair was recorded on 27th of February. It's inconsistent. It's not flowing. It's not going well.
Mm-hmm.
So how can a bad phone at that period in time produce such evidence when the computer or when your phone is not in good shape?
Mm-hmm.
So in order for your evidence to be admissible, you must ensure that your phone or your device is in proper shape. So these are the conditions, and then there's a popular case for it, Kubo versus Dixon. So it's one of the leading authorities in Nigeria regarding admissibility of electronic evidence, and the court says that computer-generated evidence cannot be admitted unless the mandatory conditions in Section 84 of the Evidence Act are satisfied. So every time you want to, it's not only lawyers that make research. If you have a case in court, it's also advisable to make use of AI tools to research some things so that you will know your position, and then when you are called to stand in the witness box, you know what to say. You will not end up saying things that will be detrimental to your case. So it's advisable to, if you intend to use an electronic evidence, maybe a WhatsApp message, a screenshot on your phone, it's advisable to look at what the Section 84 of the Evidence Act says. And then if you're finding it difficult, you can always get a lawyer to break it down for you. Or the lawyer in charge of your case, you ask him or her to break it down for you. So these are the conditions that are governing admissibility of electronic evidence. So yes, let me summarize. Yes, electronic evidence is admissible in court. Screenshots, WhatsApp messages can be used as evidence in court. But you must satisfy the conditions that are contained in the Section 84 of the Evidence Act. So yes, this is the position of the law in Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Attorney Ruben. Oh my goodness. I can always trust you anytime, any day for you to deliver. So yes, I want to quickly digress a little bit. So she talked about the fact that you can use AI to ensure that you know the position of the law. That is one thing. Thank you, Akpa. Akpa says nice. You can use AI to get the position of the law, so you'll be sure what you're saying in court, and you'll be sure how to defend yourself in court, right? That's one of the reasons why we actually have the AI tool, the AI tools also. Now, one of the challenges that we have with the AI is that, and then what people, my fellow professionals, have told me is that sometimes the AI might hallucinate. Sometimes you may ask the AI a question and the AI will not answer you rightly. The reason for that is because people are using the AI as Google, right? So AI is not Google, okay? So there's a way you should craft your prompt, and those are one of the services that we are trying to see how we can bring forth very soon. We need to teach you how you can create your prompt so that you can get the right answers, and provide tools for you to be able to get the right answers whenever you are looking for a position of the law. And then if you want to proceed, because I have some questions I keep getting asked. Some persons say, "Oh, Attorney Cynthia, I want to proceed pro se. What do I do? How do I start off this case?" And all of those other things. These are all things that we are going to also teach you down the line. How you can craft your prompt professionally. How you can craft your prompt. Ensure you give the AI the right dimensions to use, and all of those other things. Ensure you craft your prompt in a natural way. Ensure you have certain criteria that you're giving to the AI before you'll be able to get the appropriate answer. And you need to keep correcting and crafting your prompts, so that even if it gives you the wrong response, or it gives you a response that you're not too sure about, you can recraft your prompt and just keep crafting and crafting until you get it to give you the right answers. For us that are lawyers already, we already know when the AI is giving us the wrong answers. For instance, for me, I don't rely totally on the AI for my legal research, because I have noticed that the AI can hallucinate and give the wrong cases sometimes, especially the cases. And we've had lawyers who have been fined in court for bringing AI cases to court, right? Because the AI is not supposed to replace your professional expertise. That's why we have the duty of diligence, right? So if you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, accountant, and you are using the AI, you want to make sure you conduct your own independent research, right? What I do basically, if if I have a question and I feel like I need the AI, it gives me a response. I take that response and I go and conduct my own independent research, especially with regard the cases that are bringing to us. And sometimes AI may just give you a position and you will just know that that's not the right position, okay, of the law. So we can teach you how to craft your prompts. We can teach you how to get the right results. Those are things that we're going to have, that we're building behind the scenes coming down the line. Okay, so thank you very much. I appreciate you. Then I try to digress a bit. So in the United States, it's the same position. Like she's saying, in the United States, before you can admit such screenshots or WhatsApp messages and all those evidences, it must be authenticated, right? Authenticated means that they are not automatically accepted. The court wants to know whether the screenshot or the evidence is genuine. Is it a genuine evidence? If, for example, I come to court with a screenshot of a water conversation, like our sister said, and I say, this proves my case, the judge is not just going to accept it immediately. The court will ask me questions like, who took the screenshot? When was it taken? Like she said, does it accurately reflect what was on the phone or on the computer? How is it being edited, or has it been edited or altered in any way, and all? So usually the person who took the screenshot or someone with first-hand knowledge may testify and say, yes, I took the screenshot myself. It fairly and accurately represents the conversation I saw, and it has not been changed. Okay. So it has to be first-hand knowledge. Okay. So once the court is satisfied that the screenshot is authentic and relevant to the issue in the case, it may admit it into evidence. So relevancy rules. So the key takeaway is this: a screenshot is not automatically evidence simply because it exists. Because the court know now, people can formulate anything. That's also the reason why the court says, yes, say evidence are inadmissible except they fall under certain exclusions and certain exceptions, right? The court is very careful what they admit into evidence. So it's not a screenshot is not automatically evidence simply because it exists. It must first be shown to be authentic and reliable. So let me ask a question. If your spouse accidentally leaves their phone unlocked and you take screenshot of the messages, should those screenshots be allowed in court?
We said something like this earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and then we said that admissibility of evidence obtained illegally.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get screenshots from your husband's phone without his consent, in some cases the courts may not admit that evidence. It's still at the discretion of the courts. They are the ones to decide if such evidence that is brought before the court, if it's obtained illegally. There's a condition they follow. The condition in section 14, I think section 14 and 15 of the Evidence Act. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something they said about it, something like the desirability of it. So that's how they put it. In simple terms, it means if that evidence will be of great relevance to the case, the court will admit it, irrespective of the fact that it was obtained illegally. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
If it is of great relevance. But if it holds no weight, then the court may decide to just, let it go. Now, let me give you an instance. If there's a matter in court and one of the party is claiming that there's domestic violence in the marriage and then the husband abuses her a lot, and she has lots of injury, lots of wound on her body, and also that the husband is beating her so that he can please the woman is having an extramarital affair with. This is just the scenario.
Mm-hmm.
the woman is having an extramarital affair with, and then let's say the husband seized the wife's phone and deleted all the pictures of her, all the evidence she has with the pictures of herself where she's been molested. But the picture is with the husband, or is in the husband's phone, and then he's snapping, like he's sending the picture to the other lady to prove that, oh, I'm actually beating my wife, I'm actually abusing her because I don't love her anymore. It's you I want. You understand? To prove that, okay, yes, I'm really dealing with this person, and as time goes on, I'm going to let you come in. So if the wife does not have any evidence to prove, because her phone is already seized by the husband, and then there's a matter in court, and she wants to prove, and she gets hold of the phone, and then get another phone, and then make a screenshot, and probably send it to someone else, or send it to her phone. When the court looks at this thing and sees that, okay, there is element of abuse in this marriage, and for some reasons, this lady could not bring this evidence on her own, but had to obtain it illegally. When the court looks at it and they use their discretion, and then they're likely to come up with the conclusion that, okay, since this woman cannot prove this on her own, she has to and this is of relevance to the case. So they'll have to just, admit the evidence she brought, irrespective of the fact that it was obtained illegally. So this is just a scenario to clear it. There are other instances where the court will, admit an evidence that was obtained illegally for some reasons. It depends on the circumstances.
Hello, Itibug. How are you? Oh, she disconnected before we could get a hold of her to ask her questions. Okay, thank you very much, Barrister Ruben. We understand. So there are some times, or even if the evidence seems inadmissible, the court can, within its discretion, still admit the evidence. Yes, depending on how detrimental it would be to the other party's case if that evidence is not admitted, and certain factors that must be proven, which our Barrister Ruben has explained to us today. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Barrister Ruben. So I have some questions here that I have from cases, and then the other channel. There's a question that says, my ex posted lies about me on Facebook. I took screenshot before they are deleted. Is that enough evidence? Okay, so you just answered that. Then there's another question. It says, can I secretly record my spouse or partner to prove what they said? Can I secretly record my spouse or partner to prove what they said?
Okay, should I answer the question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, like I said earlier, I will still make reference to the section 14 of the Evidence Act. The fact that an evidence was illegally obtained does not automatically make it inadmissible. So the court will look at the circumstances. If it is of great relevance to your case, then the court will admit it. But if it's going to cause more issues or steam up new issues, there's every possibility that the court will not admit it. So it depends on the circumstances of each case.
Okay.
Yes, so that's it.
All right.
And the first person spoke about the screenshot that was posted.
Yes.
Right? Screenshot that was posted, and then afterwards it was deleted.
Yes.
Well, from the position of the law, that is label. That's a publication.
Yes.
And then this person was able to screenshot it before it was deleted. It's still enough to prove that other people have seen it. Yes, because one of the elements of defamation is that it must be seen by other people other than the claimant. So you making such posts, it doesn't matter when you deleted it. Do you understand? Let's say I made a defamatory post about somebody in the morning around 9 a.m. and subsequently deleted it by 2 p.m. You know the number of people that troop in on Facebook and social media at every minute of the day. So of course, it has been published to many audiences.
Many persons have seen it. Yes.
Yeah, every
Yes.
person have seen it. So deleting it does not make it go away.
Yeah. So many persons may have also screenshot it too. Because it's on social media, persons can screenshot and upload and and all of those other
You
things.
know
So
how
it's
fast
proof.
technology works. I can see something online. I say, oh, this person said this about his people. Oh, let me send it to my friend. I'll send it on WhatsApp to my friend. My friend will be like, so this gist is real. Let me send it to another person. The cycle continues. So it doesn't matter if the fact that you posted it and then you had to wait for some time to delete it. It's still, she can still prove it.
Yeah. So before you, it just goes to say that before you post anything online, or before you say anything online, you have to be very careful because it can be used. Once it can be authenticated, it can be used in courts. Right now, we have this Ned Nwoko and Regina Daniels. We know one of the reasons why today she's not having access as such is because she came online to say that when Ned Nwoko was accusing her of taking drugs, right? She came online to say yes. Gen Z now, Gen Zs, they will tell you, yes, I did it, and so what will happen? So she was trying to prove that she was taking drugs because of Ned Nwoko. Ned Nwoko enjoys when she's high. That's why he introduced her to it, not just her, but the other wives. More like, that kind of thing. That allegedly, we heard it online. It's there. Yes, it's there. I'm not saying. So that kind of, if I were her sister, right? If I were her sister, I would have advised her not to admit to that online. So even if she later came back to come and say, oh, I've gone to rehab, oh, I'm no longer testing positive, and all those other things, that statement that she made earlier, it doesn't matter the reason that you give, the law will hold you to that statement that you made. So you have to be very careful when you're making certain statements online, especially when you have a case with the other party, so that you don't go and, because it's called what's it called again, on that Barrister Ruben has left. Oh, okay. It's called admissions. You cannot, it says that you cannot admit something that is false. You understand? You've admitted to that statement. You've already admitted, you've said yes, that this statement is true. You understand? So another question that we have is hello, do you have any questions? You want to discuss something with us? Welcome in. Welcome in.
Yes, so I've got a complaint. Yeah, so like my neighbor's dog entered my kitchen and ate my sausage. Then I beat it up. And the police came for me yesterday. Is that right?
Okay, so wait, your neighbor's dog entered your kitchen and ate up your sausage, and then you beat it up,
Yes.
and then the police came to pick you.
Yes.
Who called the police? Your neighbor, right?
Yes. I locked the kitchen door. I beat it up.
Okay, so first of all, before I answer that question, where do you reside? Where's your jurisdiction? Because that's going to depend on the jurisdiction. Are you in Nigeria? Are you in the US?
I'm in China.
Okay. So generally, right, when it comes to there are certain laws are called pet laws, right? So certain countries actually hold as the pet has its own right, okay, and it's possible they are protected.
I also have a right.
Yeah, I understand I have a right, but it is called it's called animal cruelty. So it just depends on the extent to which you beat the dog. What did you use? And all of those other
I
things.
used my hands. I slapped it.
Okay. It's okay. It's actually a criminal offense in some areas if you intentionally injure or abuse an animal. Okay, you may face criminal charges depending on the facts of the applicable state. So yes, they can pick you up for that. I know you might have been angry that he did that. Another way for you to have been able to come out of that would have been to report the dog to the owner. Um, and try to claim damages for what the dog ate. You can take snapshots, you can do screenshots, and all of those other things. You have a right in civil law to claim
Yes, but
damages
there's
for.
language. I don't know how to speak Chinese.
Okay. So it all depends. Now, the context actually matters. It came into your house, so you did not intentionally just go and abuse it. You were acting to protect your property. So if the dog simply came into your kitchen and ate your food, beating the dog would expose you to some legal consequences. So a better course of action, the law will always look at, is there any other alternative you would have used? Barrister Ruben, you need to come in. Is there any alternative you would have used? And all. You can contact the owner, you can report the incident to the local animal control law enforcement, especially if you are in places like the United States, China, those countries. Actually, they have what is called the pet protection laws, right? So it's unlike, for instance, in where I come from, right, in Nigeria, for instance. No police will not necessarily come and lock me up for doing something like that as such, although and all depending on how the other party presses the charges, you understand. But in places like the United States, where they have these laws, cruelty laws, animal cruelty laws, it's possible. And what happened after? I hope everything is settled now.
Yeah, it's settled. They locked me up for 24 hours.
Oh, okay. And then they released you. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. At least it was not, they didn't lock you up for more than 48 hours, which is the period when we say that, there's a right to liberty. If you're locked up for more than 48 hours, you must be released on bail and all those other things. So, yes, thank you so much for sharing your experience. This is a good example because people,
Right.
yeah, yes, thank you. But people may think that it's
Really
just a
appreciate
dog.
it.
Yeah, it's okay. Yes. I hope we subsequently we don't have to go through this. This is the country where we find ourselves also. But Tatiana, welcome in. So I want you to tell me what happens in Nigeria in this situation. So did you
Okay.
listen?
I heard a
Okay.
part of it. I think he was talking about his landlord, right?
Yeah, it said the neighbor called the police to lock him up because he beat up the dog, and the dog came into his kitchen to eat up his sausage, and he beat up the dog. And he's based in China. So he was asking me whether the police was right. So I want to know the position in Nigeria in that kind of situation and if it has happened. Because we have our Nigerian audience and we want to know what may happen if they beat up their pets,
Okay,
other
he
people's
he
pets.
he he beat up the dog
Mm-hmm.
because the dog came into his kitchen and ate his sausage.
Yes. Then the neighbor called the police to arrest him. And then he got arrested.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I think your network might be a bit
And
bad.
then the police came to
Yes.
arrest him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this network is giving me issue.
Yeah, it's a network. Okay, it's okay. You can. It's okay. I responded to him, but I just wanted to know in Nigeria, because I know that we don't really have all those pet laws in Nigeria. Um, we don't really have those pet laws in Nigeria. So,
Ma, can you hear me now?
I can hear you. So what
I'm
rights
so
does the
sorry,
owner
my
have?
network is glitching.
What rights does the owner have, and what should the person have done instead in Nigeria?
Okay, the right the owner has to call the police on him for beating his dog for coming to his kitchen to eat his food.
No. Yes. No, the right.
Oh, this network is fucked up.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. Let me
This
just
network is.
summarize. It's okay. You can pause a little bit. So in Nigeria, animal cruelty is not encouraged, and there are laws that protect animals from unnecessary cruelty. So if a person intentionally or unintentionally injures or kills another person's animal, there may be criminal or civil consequences depending on the facts. The owner may also have a civil claim for the loss or injury to the animal. And interestingly, the US position is quite similar. Animals are protected under the animal cruelty laws, and someone who necessarily harms an animal may face criminal charges. However, if the animal was posing an immediate threat to you or your family, the law may recognize your rights to use reasonable force to protect yourself. That's why I was asking what was the level of force used. So, yes, thank you very much. You can see that sometimes the law might be similar, but the difference may be how it's enforced in the different jurisdictions, right? How it's enforced, the enforcement. In some jurisdiction there might be more enforcement being put in place, but we still have those laws in those other countries. Thank you very much. So we are 1 hour gone now. Do we have any other question coming in? I I'm already tired and I need to go rest. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate you. Let's put some music. Barrister Ruben, are you available now? Or okay, so tell me practically. Can you hear me very well? Okay. In Nigeria, practically, we've seen that the law is there. The law is there. So, but can someone actually be arrested for doing that?
For abusing an animal.
For beating an animal, where?
Currently, we don't have a standard legislation that is regulating animal cruelty.
Okay.
Yes, being cruel to animals. There's no standard law that is regulating that for now. So and for the animal going to someone's kitchen and then eat their food, there's what we call vicarious liability in law of tort. So though that one covers the aspect of being beaten by a dog, So it says the owner of the animal is liable for whatever misbehavior the animal has done. So whatever acts committed by the animal, the owner of that animal is responsible and is liable for whatever implications that comes with that. So that means if I get bitten by a dog in Nigeria, the owner of the dog is under liability to ensure that all the medical expenses, to cover the medical expenses. So that's it. But regarding eating of food, well, I doubt if the vicarious liability, if it's going to apply in that
Scenario.
In that scenario, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. I just wanted to see, practically speaking, what will be the position in Nigeria. Okay. So we've really delved into a lot today. I want to thank you very much for coming out today. Like we said, we're just starting off the live sessions, and with time, we will be able to stay longer to be able to answer more questions. So we are already 1 hour gone. We started at 9. We're already 2 hours gone, so I think it's time for us to save our attorney time and try to also get some rest so we can recoup, because we also have some contents we have to prepare for, right, Barrister Ruben? The one on
Yes.
the cross-border discussion that we have on abortion laws and AI. Yeah, so we'll just do those ones as a content and then we'll post it so that people can learn from it. Okay, so I think we've answered all the questions that they have here. If you're watching me from Facebook, if you're watching us from Facebook, thank you for joining us today. We are going to round up today's section so that we can recoup and be able to attend to the contents that we are going to put out for the week. So please keep following our page. We put out content every day of the week, every week, and on law. And we also put out content through, we either put up a video where we explain the law, break it down, or sometimes we can put up AI videos, actions, dramas. Inside those videos are lessons that you can learn. There are tips, there are strategies loaded in those AI videos. So we don't just create videos, we create educational AI videos. Then sometimes we can just put up a regular post, and we also try to go out to answer some of these questions through posts too. For instance, when we saw the Danjuma's discussion, Caroline Danjuma's discussion on another person sleeping with her, we don't just put sleeping with her husband. And when we so for instance, I'm getting tired. For instance, when we saw Caroline's post on someone else sleeping with her husband, right? We put it up as a post and we put the position of the law in writing both in US and in Nigeria, in case we have persons who have that kind of similar issues, and we address defamation, slander, and other. These are also ways we also try to break down the law to the public. So like I always say, whatever we discuss here, they are merely allegations, they've not yet been proven. We don't take sides here. We are not here to take sides. We are only here to learn from happenings. We can also ask questions that we get from during the life. We can also ask questions that we get from our day-to-day practice, hypothetically, and all. And we can also have persons who will come in to ask us questions, and we are here to answer the questions. If you have any concerns, feel free to come in and then we can address your questions. JM Joseph too, thanks for joining. How are you doing? Please, do you have a question before we close down the live session? Okay, he does not have a question. Okay, thank you very much for joining. Thank you, Barrister Ruben. I appreciate. I remain yours truly, Attorney Cynthia Azor, dual license attorney, US and Nigeria. And I have with me here Barrister Christiana Ruben eBay, my partner lawyer from Nigeria. And we are here, we are eager, we are passionate about breaking down the law in simple terms so that people can understand. So if you have any issues, you can always contact us and we'll know how we can help you. Thank you very much, Akma. I can see you. And also, thank you very much, Monami. I really appreciate you all. Yes. Today we got to Today we got to 50K likes. Let's
Impressive.
yeah. And we got some questions coming. That means people are watching and people are, and then we also had persons that came to want to bring down the live session. Yes. Now I was saying that maybe those persons are persons who are actually doing what we are talking about, and they don't want us to, make people understand what they can do in such scenarios. So whichever way, whichever we accept, we invite anybody that wants to come in. If you want to come and have fun, if you want to come and make joke, we have jokes. In fact, sometimes, for instance, in my company content plan and all of that, we have days when we'll just come out and we'll just talk about progress, have fun, gist, because too much book. Sometimes we can even make the brain go gaga. So sometimes we also come have fun, eat, party, just really have fun and relax. Because by the time you relax, you can now recoup. When you are an academic person like that, always working, always analyzing cases with clients, sometimes you just want to unwind. So we also do those other things here. So thank you very much for helping us unwind today. I really appreciated that young lady that came in to say we should push the law up our, yeah. Thank you. All right. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you. I'll see you all some other time. Love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Yeah. Bye. Bye all. See you at the other side. Yeah. I'll see you all. Yeah. Bye. Hunger won't kill me for you. Hunger won't buy me. I rushed in from exercise. That time when I just I forgot the time. Like, I go chop well before I come this live session next time. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Okay. So I have a lot of videos I have to edit. Let me see whether I can push them to our editor to edit for us. The social media manager. Let me see what he can do for us. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Bye. Or I can edit it myself. I'll just edit it bit by bit, all these live sessions. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I go come. Oh, what is the time? 12 p.m. Yeah? Make I come back ready, come out for house. So wow. Up my Okanube. I'm coming live. Uh-uh. Hunger they even they catch me. Might go there, go chop. That's right, Mama. So who else? Who else joined us? I'm going to need you to join my moderators, so please. Let me see the privacy line.
Please keep tapping on your screen. Welcome to CY Azure Law Tech Solutions. To simplify the law and bring the law closer to the masses. Please keep tapping. Please keep tapping on your screen. Welcome to CY Azure Law Tech Solutions. To simplify the law and bring the law closer to the masses. Thank you very much for joining. Don't forget to share the live. Please keep tapping on your screen. Welcome to CY Azure Law. Please keep tapping on your screen.
I'm trying to clap for him, but let me see. Okay, so thank you very much. What's this effect on my face? Oh my goodness, did I just put something on my face? Woo! Oh my goodness, I didn't want to put any sticker on my face. What's that? Okay, let me remove it. What's that? Oh my goodness. What? TikTok don't wear me eyeglass, so. Oh my God. Just give me a moment, please. I'll take off this eyeglass from my face. Yes. Okay. Let's actually have that discussion a little bit. Osarima, please, can you mute your...
You have the grace of officially marrying 4 wives. Of course, if you can take care of them. So, to me, I think that that law is great and it should also be extended to the southern part of the country. Yes, and it should be a strong ground. When I say strong ground, a mighty ground for the solution of marriage.
I'm telling you. Yes, you are right.
And you have the grace of officially marrying 4 wives. Of course, if you can take care of them. So, to me, and you have the grace. And you have the grace of officially marrying 4 wives. Of course, if you can take care of them. So, to me, I think that that law is great and it should also be extended to the southern part of the country. Yes, and it should be a strong ground. When I say strong ground, a mighty ground for the solution of marriage.
I'm telling you. Yes, you are right.
And you have the grace